And
Bagaimana kabar Ibu?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Sehat. Ya.
Ya, alhamdulillah, semoga selalu.
Bagaimana Anda?
Ya, alhamdulillah sehat juga. Alhamdulillah.
Sehat ya. Alhamdulillah.
Halo, ma'am. Assalamualaikum.
Halo, Waalaikumsalam, Sadaf. How are you, Sadaf?
I'm fine, ma'am. What about you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I will share you the QR code. Sorry for a bit late, for being late, because I do not know. Maybe the signal is not quite good. The connection is not quite good. So it's a bit late. Yes. Okay.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, madam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today is Thursday. Okay, here we are. Okay, please try to scan the QR code. Have you seen the QR code?
No, Ibu, would you please just show it on the screen?
Oh, maybe I haven't. Sure. Yeah. Yes. Here you are.
Just a minute.
Well, while waiting for the others to scan the QR code,
yes,
I would like to ask you regarding the exam on the mid-test.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, what is your impression?
Actually, I like the exam, but the problem is that it took a long time writing a lot of answers, but it was good, alhamdulillah.
Well, actually, the mid-test is the first step in writing an article. So that's why I asked you to find a phenomenon, to find a problem in the society in language use. So I asked you to find any problems, any interesting issues that can be analyzed using cognitive linguistics.
Yes.
So it is not only metaphor, the topic that I expected, because I think there are many issues. There are many issues. Yeah. There are many issues that may be found in your language. So I think in conducting research, the first thing that we have to do is finding a topic. And in order to find the topic, we have to find the phenomena, the expressions that you find or you found in your language. So from the expressions, that you have got maybe from your daily conversation with your interaction with other people, or maybe from your reading, from your listening in any genres, in any text. And then from the expressions that you gather, that you observe, and then you are trying to seek or to find a problem there. Then from the problem, you will construct a topic. You will choose a topic. And of course, you must find many issues that can be studied from cognitive linguistics point of view. But you have to study only one of them. So after deciding or after choosing the topic, after choosing the issue, and then you have to find what other people have done, have written, have studied concerning the topic that you have chosen. And I'm sure many people or many authors or many writers investigating similar topic as yours. So that's why you have to find out. You have to find out what they have done, what they have studied. And the purpose is to show your novelty, to show whether your topic can be done further, can be investigate further. Because if you have the same topic, you should change your topic. So reviewing is to confirm. Reviewing articles is to confirm whether your topic has been studied by others. Yeah, there is a chat here. Oh, Sandra, and you? Okay, let me check.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me check. There should be, okay. So I check it for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, and then by studying or by reviewing, yeah, next, Stella, are you going to say something, Stella? No. So after reviewing the papers, after reviewing others research, and then you will see the position of your topic. Okay, now I think I will present, I will study something different from what they have got. Maybe they have the same areas with you, the same issue with you, but still that you will be able to, or you have to show your novelty. What is something different? To show the difference, you can start from maybe the data that you are gathering, or maybe the aspect that you are studying, or the theories you are using. So that's why I ask you to see their research, their method, their theories, their findings, in order that you can show your novelty. Yeah. So that is what I expected. And then now from, after reviewing, and I think, some of you have reviewed more than 3 articles. So I think it is good, because in writing articles, we have to have at least 10 to 15 articles to review. For S1 degree, or for undergrad students, they have to find 10 articles. But for you want to publish your articles to certain journal, I think more reading will be advisable, or will be recommended. Because if you have many articles, if you have a lot of articles to review, it is to you can show to the public that your readability is very high. So you cite the ideas. I mean, check the ideas whether you include it in your paper or not. If you take the ideas, you have to cite. So no plagiarism. But you may cite, but you have to paraphrase or summarize. So no, the same words are used. Not the same words are used in our writing, because plagiarism is not allowed, it's not permitted. So we have to minimize plagiarism by paraphrasing. By paraphrasing or summarizing, and you have to use your own words in expressing your ideas, in expressing the citation, in presenting the citations. You have also to use your own words. Okay. Well, anyway, the next step. So after reviewing, and the review is considered, is graded, as the midterm test. And then now the next step will be on investigating the problem, investigating the issues. So the second step, the next step will be on gathering the data. So I would like you to confirm, your title, and then the introduction, including problem statement or background. Okay, later I will write in the assignment. Background, and then research problem, and then purposes, and then scope of the study, and then method that you are using, theories that you are using, and previous studies. In this case, the review of the previous studies. If 6 articles is not enough, so you have to add more reading. So you can continue doing on your topic now. I mean, after the mid test. If you have confirmed with your topic, you can go on. But if you want to change your topic, maybe because in the society or in reality, you found something new or maybe something more interesting, and then you can switch to a new topic. But I recommend you find the data from your own language so you can explore your language to study them. To study the expressions used in the society from a cognitive linguistic point of view. Do you understand me? Can you understand me?
Yes, we can understand
Okay.
you very well. Inshallah,
Okay.
we'll be able to do that.
Yeah. So you can work now, and then after gathering. So every week I will check. Every week I will check what you have. If we can complete this study properly, I think you can write article which is suitable for international publication. And publication is a must for you to have, since in the curriculum you are required to have international publication, reputable international publication. So now you can prepare it for yourself in joining this class or this subject. So you are not reading, you are not listening to me, but you are investigating your language in terms of its metaphorical expressions that can be analyzed or that can be studied from cognitive linguistic point of view. Specifically, for example, from conceptual metaphor theory or blending theory. Now, on this, after you are investigating, gathering your data, investigating the issue by gathering expressions that are interesting for your data, and then you have to study them, you have to analyze them, and then you have to present the result. Then after that, I will invite you to present, you in meeting 14 and 15. In meeting 14 and 15, it is time for you, the time for you to present your research, your study, your investigation. So the next step will be on presentation. And then for the final test, what you have to do is to write the article based on the research that you have. So those are the roadmap of our project, of your project. The article is for grading, but if it is good for publishing in a certain journal and the journal accepted, and I think before submitting to the journal, I think we have to discuss. You can ask me to check, to correct, or maybe to proofread, or maybe to correct it, or to give comments, etc. So I will be available for your supervisor in writing articles, and also I will be the second author of your paper. So your affiliation is Diponegoro University, and I will be the supervisor, but the supervisor of your publication, because as the supervisor of the thesis will, I think to be your supervisor for your thesis will be decided later, will be decided by Dr. Agus. I do not know whether I have to supervise you or not. But for publication, I will be available. If you are taking cognitive linguistic study. Okay?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, is it clear? Well, when it is clear, we are going to continue our discussion, especially another theory. Yeah, another theory. And I think it is the main theory that can be used to support your analysis in studying metaphorical, or in studying metaphor, and studying metaphorical expressions. So I will offer you in this semester, I will offer you two big theories. Yeah. But I think before, before the mid-test, we have discussed CMT, conceptual metaphor theory. And now we are going to add, yeah, to support that theory. Yeah, we can support that theory. So in analyzing metaphorical expressions, we do not only use one theory. We do not only use one theory. We will use all the theories that can support our analysis. Maybe for certain expressions, we cannot use this theory. Maybe say empty is not enough, it's not sufficient to analyze or to study some data or your data. But maybe another theory, the other theory will be able to support you. So that's why I will provide you, how I will offer you another theory in analyzing metaphorical expressions. The theory is embodied theory, embodiment theory, sorry, embodiment theory. So have you heard about this? Theory embodiment, yeah? Embodiment theory.
No, actually, we didn't hear about it, but we can guess the meaning.
Good. And I think you can relate to what we have discussed so far.
Yes.
So this theory will support you to analyze your data. You can read Lakoff and Johnson books on the flesh, the philosophy of the flesh, chapter 3. It's a very thick book. Or maybe I can show the book. If I'm not, if I take it here, philosophy of the flesh. I hope that I can retrieve this book. Okay, but Well, maybe next time I will show the book to you. And this theory, I mean, in this session, I also refer to Geraerts and Quickens 2007 on Handbook of Cognitive Linguistics. Well, what do we mean by embodiment? What do we mean by embodiment? It is from body and then embodiment. Can you guess what we mean by embodiment here?
Maybe ma'am, emotional or the process related with the emotional things are
So, or maybe the others can give ideas.
I think embodiment has to do with, like, for example, a personalization or having like something intangible or tangible, giving the attributes, for example, the embodiment, like to give to have some entity having some attributes. We use these attributes of that thing that could be intangible or non-abstract thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, or maybe the others, maybe Stella, Nan, and also Stella. Do you have, or Sada? Do you have any ideas?
Uh, yeah, I think it's more of the human traits or something to do with the body, something like that.
Yeah, something. Yes, everything to do with the body. Yes.
Yes, maybe also kind of like experience.
Great.
Yes.
Yes, great. Yeah, I think if we look at the definition I offered you, that cognitive linguistic studies the representation of experience, thought, feeling, and feeling. Yeah. So in this case, everything is related to our body. In life, you can see. I mean, you can feel it. You can what? You can experience well, maybe it would be better for me to see that embodiment here is related to bodily experiences or bodily experiences. And I think bodily experiences here are the experiences, all the experiences that you experience through your body, maybe your vision, your sensor, anything, all of them. In this theory, bodily experiences shape linguistic categorization and conceptualization. You can see that, well, it is hard, it is soft, it is rectangle, it is, yeah, I think from your experience. In categorizing, well, it is a tube, it is a kind of tube. It is a kind of, what? For example, in categorizing the world, you can mention, well, human, non-human, animal, and then living things, etc. Non-living things, tangible, intangible, you can categorize them based on your experience. You can tell me, or you can describe what experiences do you have? Visual experience, sensical or sensory experience, or motoric experience, or behavioral experience, anything related to our body. And I think the experience that we have in life, in interaction with other people, in interaction with the world, we use our body, or based on our body. And the experience shape linguistic categorization. And it is also include, it also includes colors. It also includes color. From categorization, and then you can, or you may have conceptualization. For example, when you have expression, birunya cinta, the blue of the love, or the blue love, the blue love or the love blue, birunya cinta. In birunya cinta, you can find different categories. The basic category, blue color is to refer to like the sky or the sea. Yeah. But when it is used to describe or to attribute love, and then it changes, you have conceptualization. You construct new meaning of the blue there. And the blue there means what? Can be sadness or unhappy love. And how can people categorize, or how can people conceptualize something with another? That is based on their bodily experiences. So embodiment hypothesis, human physical, cognitive, and social embodiment ground our conceptual and linguistic system. I took this from Keroids and Quickens, page 27, published in 2007. So embodiment hypothesis here. Human physical, cognitive, and social embodiment ground our conceptual and linguistic systems. I think we can prove this in your language, and I think it is universal. Or maybe we have to study first before confirming that it is universal. Check your language. Everybody in this session check their language. If all the languages have the same paradigm, the same phenomena, so we may conclude that it is universal.
Yes. Ibu,
yes.
Can I ask something? I just
Yes.
wanted to ask, would you please give an example of the embodiment like dalam bahasa Indonesia in Indonesian, for example, is the birunya cinta itu Is it considered to be an example?
It is, yeah, one of the examples. Sakitnya
So-
hati, teriris hatiku. You know, teriris hatiku.
Tergiris.
Teriris.
Oh, tergiris.
Teriris. Cut or
Berarti
hurt.
one made of
Hati
onion.
means your heart.
Like
Heart. When you are broken.
tomato. Yes, like sliced.
Yeah. So
Okay.
teriris hatiku. And in reality, we don't have such. I mean, what happened? The what teriris is to show, for example, I cut my finger. Okay, I cut my finger. Tangan saya teriris. Tidak. It is impossible for us to cut our finger purposefully.
Yes.
Or in purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. And in bahasa Indonesia we use teriris. So it is passive. There is no agent there. There is no actor, sorry. Teriris. Yes. But in English, so, I cut my finger. I cut my finger. But in bahasa Indonesia, teriris tanganku. In Japanese, the word is keperang. Keperang. Keperang means teriris or cut.
Oh.
Yeah. I think these two examples, I mean these two sentences in Indonesia and in English, to refer to the same thing, we have different construction. You say, I cut my finger. So it means that you are the actor of cutting. But teriris tanganku, teriris jariku, jari means finger.
Yes.
It is passive, no actor, but it happens. So the agent is hidden. So what can be concluded from this phenomena? I cut my finger. So you are responsible for doing it, for making your finger cut.
Getting cut. Yes.
Yeah, being cut. But in
yes, in Indonesian, if we use the verb imbuhan di, it's different. So because
yes.
di it indicates passive, so it indicates there is a doer, there is actor. But if we say there, means that there is no, it's unknown.
No actor, no unknown.
Yes.
Yeah, unknown.
So,
but my point is, the word teriris, yeah, the word teriris for teriris jariku is conceptualized or is used. I mean, the experience of cutting the finger, cutting your finger, is transferred to teriris hatiku. Your experience can tell you how you feel when you cut your finger. What happens? How do you feel when you cut your finger? It hurts you.
Yes, it hurts.
Yeah. And then this experience of being hurt is transferred to the heart, not to the finger, but the heart. So it is metaphorical when you say teriris hatiku. Because you try to conceptualize, yeah, and the conceptualization is based on your experience, your embodied experience. So that's why we can analyze the expressions like teriris hatiku can be categorized as metaphorical, and we can explain using embodiment theory.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Very clear.
Okay. If we talk about embodiment here, we can show the directionality of metaphorical mappings. Yeah, metaphorical directionality of metaphorical mappings. For example, if we say time is money, or maybe life is a journey. Yeah, life is a journey. You can show, yeah, for example, the metaphor life is a journey is constructed based on the expressions like, well, I can continue my life, I stop my life, because if you want to commit suicide, you want to stop your life. So from that expressions, that life is a journey, because in a journey you have what, move from one place to another. You have a destination. You have what is that?
A point of heading to.
Yeah. And sometimes you walk with other people. So when you get married, and then your life changes, and the traveling changes too. So before getting married, you are alone, but when you get married, and then you have to be accompanied by your spouse.
Yes.
This mapping can also be explained as a projecting image schematic patterns of embodied source domain onto less understood target domain. So how can you understand life is a journey? Because you are moving to one second to another, yeah, and then you are getting older, and then the God will stop your life. Or when you have been living with your partner, with your spouse, sometimes your spouse, yeah, a spouse or the spouse leave you to reach the destination earlier than you. So this can project the image schematic patterns of our embodied source domain. In this case, what is the source domain? The source domain will be the life or the journey.
Oh, yes.
The source domain will be, which one is more understandable? The traveling, I mean the journey, or the life? The target domain will be the life, and the source domain will be the journey. So by understanding the patterns, the schematic patterns, so our experience in having journey is embodied to be the source to mean. Well, if you have destination, you have a purpose in your life. You have to struggle for your life. You have to maintain your life in order that you are safe until the end of your life. What you have to reach in your life. I think this are systematically constructed in our mind. Because if I have a journey, I have a goal, I have a destination, I have something to reach, I have an objective. And to reach the objective, if I am in companion, so I'm not struggling by myself, but I'm struggling together. And how to harmonize both of us in order to reach the goal successfully and safely. See? So here, the journey experience is used to understand the less target domain, the less understood target domain, that is life. So in life, you must have purpose or objective, you must something to reach, and then you have to have procedures or strategies in having a safe life, etc., etc. And these patterns, these schematic, image schematic patterns can be transferred, can be conceptualized into the patterns of life. I mean, the experience of life. An image schema is recurrent pattern, shape, or regularity in or of our actions, perceptions, and conceptions. So it's very broad if we talk about image schema. So our experience, what we think, what conceive, I mean perceive, our action, anything. So this figure or this diagram can show you that concepts, concepts in this case, maybe color or basic level, spatial relation, basic level categorization, and then spatial relation, and also event structuring aspects. So aspectual experiences are embodied, and they are in our perceptual system and also a motor system. So all of these are embodied in our mind. Our knowledge about color, and then basic level of categorization, talking about spatial relation, aspectual or event structuring. So all of them are in the mind, are embodied in our mind. It is also embodied in our motor system, not only perceptual, but also motor system. So they are influence each other. So that's why in analyzing the metaphorical expressions, because language represents human experiences. So you can explain, you can elaborate from this theory. You can explain why teriris hatiku is used by human. It is not enough to say hatiku sakit. People tend to use metaphorical expressions because our thought is metaphorical, not our language. That's why our thought or our embodied experiences are represented in our language. Categorizing depends on sensing apparatus and ability to move and to manipulate objects. Categorization is a consequence of embodied experience. What we do is based on the brains and interaction we have. So humans are neural beings. You are, as neural being, you must categorize. What happens if you do not categorize? If you do not categorize the world, I think it is very difficult to communicate with others, to interact with others. A small part of our categories is formed by conscious acts of categorization, while most are shaped automatically and unconsciously as a result of function in the world. So sometimes we have conscious acts, yeah, of categorization, but sometimes, yeah, they are automatically or they are unconsciously done as the result of their functions in the world. And now it's very specific, but this and brains shape the way we categorize, kinds of categories, and also the structures of categories. Bodies and brains. So that's why categories, concepts, and experience are inseparable. You cannot separate categories, concepts, and experience. According to Lakoff and Johnson's 1999, page 19, living systems must categorize. I can imagine if we do not categorize. So how can you communicate with the world? How can you interact with other people? Since we are neural beings, our categories are formed through our embodiment, so our embodied experience. It is part of what our bodies and brains are constantly engaged in. So in analyzing, in using this theory, we have to explain. Yeah, we have to prove we have to convince the readers how something is conceptualized. Well, then concepts are neural structures, and they characterize mental categories. Human categories are usually conceptualized in terms of prototypes. So according to Lakoff and Johnson again, an embodied concept is a neural structure that is actually part of or makes use of the sensory motor system of our brains. Much of conceptual inference is therefore sensory inference. Now, embodied concepts in color concepts, basic level concepts, and spatial relations concepts. As it is stated, yeah, human concepts are importantly shaped by our bodies and brains, especially our sensory motor systems. For example, now in these two pictures, we can categorize the color. The sky is blue. What the color? And what about the other category you can have, or you may have? On the left picture and on the right picture. What do you have in the right picture? Do they have the same categories? The picture on the left and the picture on the right?
The skyscrapers, I think.
Mm-hmm. And you do not find in the other picture?
No.
No.
The other picture has a sea and has sky. Both of them are blue.
Uh-huh. And I think there is pond. There is a pond there. And a pond is not the sea.
The sky.
A pool of the pond. I mean, and the near the skyscrapers, you can find maybe a swimming pool. You have water there. But in these two pictures, you have water. But in the left, the water near the skyscrapers is different from the water in the other picture. You can categorize. We cannot say the sea is in here. From the characteristic, from the features, from the prototype that you have, you can categorize it.
Yes.
Okay. So far, do you have any questions?
No, just wanted to ask about one thing related to the journal, because you said that that we can use more than one theory in our journal. So, for example, I use the conceptual metaphor theory together with the embodiment theory. For example, we can have both of them introduced to one journal, one paper.
Yeah. So this can strengthen your analysis.
Yes.
It will strengthen your analysis.
But
Because it is not only in, yes?
Yes, you go, please. Then I add what I wanted to ask. Yes. Can I add more thing, please? One more
Yeah,
thing.
of course.
Just wanted to ask because you said that it will strengthen our analysis. So if we had two theories, then we base our whole analysis based on which of them or both of them.
I see. Okay. But you have to be careful. Two theories which support each other.
Mm.
Don't use theories which are in contradictory.
Yes.
If they are in contradictory, if they are contrast each other, then you will be able to generalize or to infer or to make inference about your result of your analysis.
Yes.
Can you follow me?
Yes, I can follow.
Okay.
So for example, Ibu, the
Yes.
embodiment theory is based on the conceptual metaphor theory. So they are not contradicting with each other. So we can use both of them, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Very clear.
Okay. Thank you. Well, next, I will invite you to travel to Karimun Jawa, one of
Inshallah.
Karimun Jawa, 2 hours from Jepara. Yeah, 2 hours from Jepara. There are 27 islands, small islands in Karimun Jawa. And they have very beautiful scenery, beautiful sea. Yeah. And this is one of the spots there. You can see the contrast. You can see the category of color here. And
So, ma'am,
yes.
when we will be able to come there?
I think it depends on the government. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, the permission, yeah. If you have exit permit, then you have permission to enter this country. If
Inshallah.
the government has
Inshallah.
opened the border, I think it's okay. You are welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Hope they will open soon.
Yes, I conducted my research um, in that island for 1 week. 1 week
MashaAllah.
to study their language. So in one island, there are so many ethnic groups. So that's why I'm talking about
So, ma'am,
pluralism. Yes.
at every island, there is different language that people are using.
Yes.
Oh.
But even in Japanese, we have many languages. In
So,
East
which one is your national language?
Bahasa Indonesia or Indonesian.
Oh, okay, right,
They can speak Bahasa Indonesian.
right,
They can
ma'am.
speak Indonesian, even though they have their own ethnic languages.
Right, means they are multilingual.
Yeah. In Karimun Jawa, one person can be plurilingual, not multilingual, but plurilingual. So they can speak each other with different languages. The wife speaks Javanese, the husband speaks Maduranese or Bukinese. So it's very interesting to study. But I
Yes.
haven't studied the embodied experience reflected or represented in the language. Later, there will be a project. Yeah.
Jawa.
Yeah, Jawa, Karimun Jawa. Okay, then you have blue, you have green, and you have red. The roses are red. The roses are red. But maybe in your language, you can find the expressions, I mean, the color to express or to, to express or to represent others, maybe your feeling or your emotion. Do you use colors to describe your emotion? In Bahasa Indonesia and Arabic, I have studied three languages: English, Arabic, and Indonesian. They use three languages. The three languages use colors to describe love. They can be found in songs. They are found in songs. So one of the students wrote an article, metafora warna in English, metaphors in Indonesian, and in songs, in song lyrics. Metaphors in song lyrics, metaphors of color. Basic level categories is the highest level at which we have mental images that stand for the entire category. So the body-based properties of basic level categories. There are 4 conditions characterizing categories according to Perrin and Ross in Lakoff and Johnson. The first one is, it is the highest level at which a single mental image can represent the entire category. And then it is the highest level at which category members have similarly perceived overall shapes. And then the third, it is the highest level at which a person uses similar motor actions for interacting with category members. And then the fourth, it is the level at which most of our knowledge is organized. So it is dealing with basic level categories. Then what is the philosophical significance of basic level? The division between basic and non-basic level categories is body-based. Body-based. And the second, the basic level is that level at which people interact optimally with their environment. And then the third, basic level categorization tells us why metaphysical realism makes sense for so many people, where it seems to work and where it goes wrong. It is not only about objects, but also actions, social concepts. And then the fourth, the properties of the basic level explain an important aspect of the stability of scientific knowledge. So I think you have to understand the significance of the philosophical significance of basic level. Basic level categories. It is the way to understand the theories. What about spatial relations. Or maybe do you have any questions or do you have any comments? Okay, we talk about philosophical significance at basic level. It is the we talk about something very basic, something very basic. What can underlie the theories? Now, spatial relations concept. These concepts are the center of our conceptual systems used unconsciously. They are used via perceptual and conceptual systems. For example, the container schema is structured by the concept of inside, boundary, outside. And I think you can describe or you can see this concept or this schema in your language. So maybe you want to study the container schema in your language or maybe your local language. And what schema do you have? And I think the concepts are represented in the language. For example, in Bahasa Indonesia, in Indonesian, we have the word masuk, di dalam, di luar, keluar, ya, di atas, di samping, di bawah, di pojok, di sudut. And we also have in academic genre, we have dari sudut pandang apa, what perspective you have. Perspective is what you perceive. And I think it also implies the container schema. Yeah. And the source path goal schema consists of source, trajectory, and then goal. What schema do you have? So the container schema, then the source path goal schema. From source, and then you have trajectory, then goal. Besides, you also have bodily projection. We project fronts and backs onto objects. Di depan sana, di belakang, melompat dari depan ke belakang. And we also have other image schemas and elements of spatial relations, part, whole, center, periphery, link, cycle, interaction, contact, adjacency, force, motion, like pushing, pulling, propelling, support, balance, straight, curved, near, far, here, there. Orientation is also used like horizontal orientation, front, back orientation. It's very, very broad. If you talk about spatial relation concept, maybe you want to elaborate or you want to explore spatial relation concept in your society. So you can gather expressions used by the society, yeah, that represent spatial relations concept. Kita harus maju. Kita harus maju. We have to move forward. Kita harus maju. So that is a spatial relation concept in my example. Kita harus maju. Jangan mundur. See?
Yes.
Maju mundur. Jangan belok-belok, harus lurus. You have to go straight.
Don't get distracted. You like.
Yes, don't get distracted. See, so it's very rich of these concepts.
Yes.
This is the second one, yeah, second concept. The embodied nature of spatial relations concepts are based on the body. Ada sayap kanan, ada sayap kiri. Bentangkan sayap Anda. Membentangkan. You have to spread or you have to stretch. Yes.
Very
Not
beautiful.
only the body, but also your opinions. If you have to spread your body, stretching. If you have to stretch your body, it is literal meaning. But if you stretch your views, if you have to extend your views, so spatial relation concept implied in that expression. Our experience in stretching and in extending can be applied to another experience. So there is a conceptualization from something, from the source to the target domain. Based on my reading of your papers or your writing, it seems that you still have conventional views on metaphor. On metaphor. You still assumed or thought that metaphor is a kind of comparison between two domains. No, it is not a matter of comparison or comparing. What is metaphor is our thought, our mind. But it seems that there is still misconception about metaphor here. What I'm concerned is conceptual metaphor. And the metaphor is constructed through our experience. And the experience are embodied through our embodied experiences. Because all people, all humans experience. If we talk about spatial relations concept, Do you have, okay, maybe you can explore. You can explore in your language.
Yes. Actually, I
Do you
think
have
Ibu,
the
it's
word for? Oh, you have written in the chat. No. Oh, membentang sayap kamu, stretch your wing. Yeah. In Cindy, her color turned into yellowish. That means she is sick or she has been caught by doing any illegal work. I see. Thank you, Sandra. In English, I'm feeling blue. Yeah, I'm having Monday blues. Feeling sad, depressed, or bored. Yeah, good. So as far as I want to come there to do. Oh, yes. You want it to come, yeah, but you can't. Oh, yeah. But the skyscrapers is in Taiwan. It's not in Karimun Jawa. The sea is in the Karimun Jawa. Okay, well, the next, I think the last slide that I give you. So embodiment not as realization, but as shaping. So this is what we have to bear in our mind. Embodiment not as realization, it's not as realization, but as shaping. So concepts are formal in nature and arise from the mind's capacity to generate formal structure. Neural modeling as an existence proof for the embodiment of mind. Models have been constructed for three kinds of concepts. For example, the first one, spatial relation concepts, in, on, over, through, under. And then concepts of bodily movement represented by verbs like grasp, pull, lift, tap, and punch. Then the third, concepts indicating structure of actions or events are spectral concepts like starting, stopping, resuming. In grammar, it indicates process. Yeah, the conclusion is that the body and the mind. Your body is in your mind. Well, now it's time for us to explore your language, to explore our languages about these three, yeah, categories, basic level categories, and then spatial relation concept. I think what is easier to figure out or to find is spatial relation concept, and also yeah, the basic level. I think it is not quite interesting, the basic level. The spatial relation concept is very influential in our schema, in our mind. Okay, now can you okay, can we discuss, yeah, or maybe can you give me examples, can you give me some examples in your language and give the meaning in English, so I can I can understand better. I will be able to understand it better. Okay, I gave you time to write. We are focusing on this, the models here.
Yes, Ivo, yes, we can give examples.
Yeah.
For example, we use the expression Egypt will go ahead. Egypt will never go back.
In Egypt,
Yeah, Mr. Saberti,
in
just like
Egypt,
this.
what is the expression?
مصر يعني مصر هتمشي قدام برجلان كدبان تروس we'll go ahead and we'll never get back. We'll never go back.
Ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have expressed. What is in Egypt? Can you write in Egypt?
Yeah,
In
actually, I wrote it in
Egyptian, I
English.
mean, can you write it in Egyptian? Yes. I mean
Yes,
the words expressed in
yes.
Egyptian.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah.
Like in Indonesia, in Indonesian we have maju terus, and then jangan kembali. So kembali is go back. The word is different. The words are different, but the meaning is the same. Means go ahead. And I think this can also be used to translate. Yeah.
Yes.
In translation, I think cognitive linguistics can help you understand the concept.
Just wrote it. It's the same, just what Ibu expressed a little few minutes ago.
How can you read?
Yes. مصر هتمشي قدام ومش هترجع ورا. مصر the name of the country. مصر هتمشي برجلان وبرجلان كاكي قدام ahead or كدبان.
Maju jalan terus.
Yes. ومش هترجع لورا ومش and مش will not هترجع get back or منdur ورا كبلاكان back never go back.
Waro. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. Waro.
Okay.
So the word waro is mundur. In bahasa Indonesia, mundur.
Yeah. And actually, Ibu, it has a political contextualization. Since after the revolution happened in Egypt in 2011, they tried to show that, for example, some secular parties here in Egypt showed that if Egypt went back to the like the very old Islamic traditions, this is kind of going back. Getting back, and we don't want Egypt to go back, to get back. Yeah. Some use it like that, some use it in a more general way, like, for example, we want Egypt to be advanced, we don't want Egypt to get back. So it is used on two contexts, the political one and general one. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you can investigate the concept of maju, the concept of going back or going ahead, or go ahead or get ahead, and go back in different situations. You explore this concept. For example, I think it is all can be an issue. So get ahead, the concept of get ahead in political issue, in governmental issue, or in maybe common people issue, or in, it's very rich, I think.
Yes.
Or maybe you can focus, or you can deal with another concept.
Yes. Ibu.
Yeah, Sandra.
No, not at all. Just wanted to ask something because we are international class, and I think we have the same concepts universally. So we may think about making a journal like based on, for example, me and Sadaf or me or Sarfaraz having studying on the same concept universally. I think it would be very
Oh,
interesting. Also.
yeah, I think so.
Is it
So
possible?
you may have collaborative publication or collaboration. You may have collaboration, but everybody is a must to be the first author. So
Would you
if
please explain
here
again?
we have five students, so
Yes.
there must be yeah, there must be 5 articles,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you have to be the first author, yeah, as the requisite,
Yes. Yes.
what is required by Undip. You have to be the first author or the corresponding author. So in one article, the first author and corresponding author have the same right, has the same important rights. Yeah. But if you are only a member, so the third, for example, you are not corresponding author, or you are not the first author, then you are the third author. You haven't fulfilled the requirements. So you still have to propose, or to submit, or to publish another article, because
Yes.
the requirements is that you have to be the first author and all the corresponding author. But I think in the in the guidelines, it will be safer for you to be the first author, not corresponding
Yes.
author. Yeah,
Inshallah.
the first author
Inshallah.
will if you will pass if you have if you are the first author. So you can go ahead to
If we have time. Yes.
you can go ahead to attend your exam, your thesis exam, because it is
Inshallah.
the main requirements for attending the exam, thesis exam,
Inshallah.
inshallah.
Yeah, thank you
And
so
I
much.
think writing a journal article takes time. So it is impossible for us to, for example, to write in 1 month, or and until 1 month, yeah, writing and publication. No, it is impossible. It is
Yes.
impossible. Yeah, because we have to wait for the assignment, the awaiting. There are some processes. So when we submit, and then the status will be awaiting assignment. And then when the paper is reviewed, and then in review. After in review, then if you have to revise, and then it will be written it to you, then you revise it, and then you resubmit, or you have
Yes.
to upload the revised version. And then if it is accepted, and then it is accepted, and it is processed to be published. So
Yes.
it takes a long time, even months. I myself, as the chief editor of Paro, if you have heard, it is nationally accredited journal, so it hasn't been accredited by Scopus or by international agencies or bureau, but it is accredited by national agency, by Sinta.
Oh,
Yeah, and
thank you.
even it is national accredited journal, but the waiting list is very long. It's
Oh,
very long. Yes.
yes. Thank you so
So
much.
that's why you have to, I mean, to what? To start, yeah, to start earlier. So
Yeah.
your study or um, your article will be good. Well, Sadaf, I will upload. I will post this slide, and then you said that it is just like Pushto language. Pushto language. Is it your local language? Pushto language? Sadaf?
Yeah, ma'am. No, it's not a local language, but it's the language of province, KPK.
Mm,
That language is mostly spoken by Khan, or we in Sindhi we call them Pathans.
mm.
So when she was pronouncing her words, then it seems that she was speaking just like Pashto language. That's why I spoke.
Pushto language. Mm.
Yeah.
Do you have, I mean, can you give me an expression in Pushto language that
No, ma'am.
represents concept containing, I mean, spatial relation concept, or maybe,
Maybe it has, but it's very hard to understand that language because it's
oh, I
just
see.
like so
But
it's
what do you
difficult.
speak? By the way, what do you
Sindhi
speak?
language. Sindhi
Oh,
language.
Sindhi
Yeah.
language. I see.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for your
Thank
participation, for your active
thank you so
response in
much.
discussing this. And I'm very happy to be with you to discuss cognitive linguistics.
Yeah,
Okay,
me
thank
too.
you.
I like this subject so much. Very interesting. Yani, mashallah, I like it.
Okay, see you next week.
Thanks so much. Inshallah.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much,
Take
ma'am.
care.
Okay, you're welcome. So, Parash.
Okay, goodbye, mom. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Have a great day. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Take care, everyone.
You too.